All right, guys, we are back here with the Very Opinionated Show. We back again, live again. I'm your host, Jay, the I am, with my good friend Melvin Williams.
Yep.
As everybody knows, Scratch Daddy and our fan favorite Max the Million. Come on, Melvin, say something to the people. Say something.
Greg, first of all, I'm just glad to be with you guys. As we talked earlier, I went through something in my life that I never expected. So I'm just glad to be here with you guys and looking forward to conversating about the subject that you mentioned.
All right, come on, Scratch Daddy.
Just want to say what's up to everybody out there. Hoping for a good show today. Maybe we get some stuff explained, get some stuff talked about. That way, everybody who see this podcast to have some solutions to their daily life.
All right, Maximilian.
Well, hey, I just want to say, Jay, thank you for having me again. It's a very opinionated show. Uh, Mr. Williams, it's nice to meet you finally in person or over the video. Scratch Daddy, it's good to see you again. I just look forward to see what we have, all the subjects and topics are going to be today, and I really look forward to getting into the discussion.
All right, guys. We're going to talk about the war with Soviet Union and Ukraine. We can give our opinion on that, as well as the school system, and of course, the infamous slap across the face. You know what? I'm gonna start off with my good friend Melvin. Come on, Melvin. Tell me what do you think about this war that is going on in Ukraine? Do you think it's a good thing for Soviet Union, or is it a bad thing for the American people?
Well, actually, in my opinion, is to me it's bad for the Soviet Union because again, based on what I'm hearing, there's no rhyme or reason why this is going on. As far as us being involved, well, we are involved since we're supplying those guys with the tanks and guns and all this other kind of stuff. So we are involved. This hopefully we won't have no boots on the ground anytime soon. But I don't like it. But again, I do understand. I do understand. I don't like it at all.
All right, come on, Max.
Okay, so the war with Russia and Ukraine. It's interesting. I think to look at it from multiple perspectives. I think first of all, we as people, we're always in nature in a war, in a sense. We're always in a war with nature, within ourselves, with others. That's just kind of part of who we are.
Right.
Now, Russia and Ukraine. There's, I think, I'm not a big fan of war, mostly because I grew up in one. So
Correct.
That's a story for another day. I like to look at things in different ways. I like to look at, like how America has utilized NATO over the years to put bases in multiple different countries, So in a sense, it's almost become a turf war with Russia, and Ukraine's just way too close for them, I think that's how they see it. That's how they rationalize it, because there's multiple wars that have been fought, multiple countries that have been invaded via NATO, America utilizing NATO to invade them, which I don't think it should have happened in the first place. So in a sense, I cannot justify, what Vladimir Putin is doing or Russia is doing, but I do understand the concept of, let me just bring out an example. Let's say China decided to supply Mexico and Canada with weapons and stuff like that, and we weren't on a good terms. How would you feel about? How would America feel about that? That would definitely be, not okay. So I kind of see that the same way. Whenever America chooses to go in a different countries or finds an excuse in some ways to go and I just don't think it's right. I oftentimes think that America should just stay to themselves. You know, you should not be like the policeman of the world.
Right, and I think, and that's a good point you brought up, because what I have noticed just in the past, anytime that there's a war anywhere, it seems like America has to be involved. I honestly, I really don't know, because I don't know politics that well, but I know a few little stuff about it. But this is the thing that I always notice, that we have to stick our nose in other people's affairs. Come on, Scratch Daddy, just kind of expound a little bit more on that.
Oh, well, I was about to actually, could you, like how you had it just now, instead of highlighting specifically on me, I feel like I respond better to, yeah. To me, I respond better when I can see everybody.
Okay.
Oh, appreciate that. I can't really, I don't want to be a stick in the mud about that whole situation. I can't really, comment. All I could basically do is regurgitate what we all have been seeing in the media.
Right.
For me to make comments, I really would prefer to actually be over that firsthand to see what's going on, and then make my assessment and make my comments based on that. But what I can attest to is the effects, that's happening around us that we can actually see. One being the price of fuel. Mm-hmm. We have been in wars before, and we have never experienced a fuel increase such as this. So, it makes you wonder what's really going on. Not only that, there have been other countries like Haiti and other people who have tried to come in this country as refugees or people of political asylum, and America turns them around. Third thing, any other time something happens in this nature, America gets totally involved and remedies the situation. They quick to invade. Well, look what they did Gaddafi. They invaded him for whatever reason and actually killed him. But that's like Max said earlier, that's a whole nother story. So, I can't really, of course, it's a sad situation. You hear the media saying that, there's some front saying that Russia's accusing the Ukrainian president of, I'm trying to pick the perfect word to use, but, it's like as if he's the people that's getting killed, some of that is his own doing to make it look as if it's Russian. I don't think somebody would go that far, to get their agenda across. But at the same time, I'm not there, so I don't know what's actually going on. But it's a sad situation all the way around. Right. And I'm hoping, praying that a solution comes about pretty soon.
And I agree, because war is never a good thing. Mm-hmm. And of course, when you talk about war, and then America stick their nose in it, and guess who have to pay the price? The American people, the taxpayers. And as we see, we know gas prices shot through the roof. And it's looked like, for me, they knew it was coming, because all of a sudden the inflation of food and clothes and everything just started going up. And people, I want to say, before the war took out, took off. So my thing is like, it was already predestined. Like, they already seen it coming. We know this was going to happen. So let's go ahead and prepare the American public for this, so they can, they can get ready for it. But at the same time, how you can say get ready for it when no one's wages has increased? No one's salary has increased. Because if you're going to put that on the American people, you would think like, okay, well, let's raise their money, because I know the more money the American people have, which American people love to spend money, they're going to spend more. Right? Come on, Melvin, expound on that.
Now you are correct. But what I want to hit on, though, was the fact that the way the politicians are talking, especially the president, about the Putin, he's calling him a war criminal or something to that effect. To me, that's kind of telling me we're going in the direction where we might have boots on the ground. I hope not, but the way he's talking, seems like he's kind of insinuating that we're gonna get more involved. I don't know. What do you
Well,
think?
I think at the end of the day, I think we will get more involved because I just don't see the gas prices going down.
It's
I
that
think
tough.
they had this all set up. Oh, again, I think is more will be favorable for those that are rich.
Correct.
Nah, you know,
Yes.
come on, Maximilian. You think? I mean, I know it's sure not going to benefit the poor people, but
Well,
look who is going to benefit.
well, I just wanna say something that we already were in this crisis in a sense with inflation going on way before, February 24th, when the war started. We were already dealing with a whole lot of stuff going on right now.
Correct.
So one thing I can tell you is I feel bad for innocent people, innocent lives that are going to be lost due to old people who don't like each other or who have beef against each other, and that's been seen throughout the history.
Lord.
You have people
Yeah.
in Congress, in politics, old people who think they have this authority and they think they have common sense. That's the thing, to say what is to be and what is not to be, and yet they recruit young men to fight their battles, which is something I'm totally against, man.
Right.
It's just so foolish but now there's also one other point I wanted to bring out, and that was the Cold War. I think whenever they say ended in 1989, that was just like a public stunt. The Cold War never ended between America and Russia. And recently, what I've seen, one of the videos online, which I think it was kind of interesting, is like Putin was discussing about how whenever he met with Bill Clinton, that was like at the beginning of 2000s, he asked him, "Hey, what do I need to do to join NATO?" And Bill Clinton was like, "Well, we don't want you to join a NATO." So that just goes to show you, regardless if somebody wants to do better or tries to, figure out a way to meet you in the middle ground, there's still, I'm still trying to figure out why is it that America is still pushing so hard for us to have enemies in this world and continue to, it's just ugly. It's just ugly in my opinion,
It is. Come on, Scratch Daddy.
Well, first of all, it was coming anyway. I mean, we hadn't had one in a while. So how they talk about it always being an economic boost.
Well,
so
yeah.
it was inevitable.
As always.
Yep.
But you got to look at it too. America always crying and broke, but they come up with that aid money for Ukraine instantly, and I'm talking about billions of dollars.
Instantly, like is they print money like overnight? Come on.
I was, hey, look, help us a little bit, help the American people, like you help these countries outside of America. We do all the heavy lifting, but we can't get any aid.
I can't. Yeah, that for the God's sake, man, I can't. But you could, at the end of the day, regardless, we know war is bad. War is bad. I just believe when they're innocent women and children, men just being killed, that's the terrible part about it. Because
I've never seen that part. How they're attacking the regular civilians. I've never seen that, in any war. I mean, maybe I need to do more research, but really, that's the first time I heard in any war where they, attacking civilians.
Right, and that was
intentionally. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mel.
Yeah, I think they were saying that they're attacking, I guess, the people on the trains, hospitals, and man, that's sad, man. And like I think Max said earlier, though, it's like the older men can't agree on things. Older men, I mean, I guess their mind is set on certain things, and then, like I said, who benefits from the war? Who actually benefits from that, especially financially? Who benefits?
I put it away. My bank account still look the same.
Your bank account, but in today's world with all this technology,
right.
Like Mr. Williams said and Max said, old guys or not, with today's technology, we should better talk any of our problems out. War should even exist. War should be outlawed and banned. But the only way that can happen is, and I'm like John Lennon. You get rid of everybody collectively get rid of the governments and we never have to go to war again, period.
Yep. Again, going back, who benefits from the war?
Yeah, I think that's really like the bigger question. I think that's even just for the American people to realize. And if some of them think it's a good thing. Oh, we go to war, we stopping terrorists, or we stopping this, or we stopping that. It really does not benefit the regular common 9-to-5 taxpayer. It do not benefit. It benefit those that is super wealthy, that is rich, that is in power.
Well,
all right, guys. I always say, at the end of the day, we know war is bad. Now, let's talk about this school system, because I think school system, it's not being used like it, I guess, was in the past. I may say, because all of us, I think we up in age. Maybe not Max, but I know Melvin out of the bunch, because he's older than me and Scratch Daddy. But a school system. Let me ask you, Melvin, is the school system is different when you was growing up than compared to now? What you have noticed, and being working in used to work in the school district. It just with the atmosphere itself, Well, give me your opinion on that.
Well, I come from a small town, so when I got here and just going to schools like M.R. Wood, I'm not used to going through metal detectors and all that stuff, and having police in the schools. Thinking, what the hell I get into?
Right.
Yeah, I mean that blew my mind when I first started. I think I made the wrong decision.
Right. It kind of makes it.
Well, the thing that I noticed about it is especially at my level, it was more politics. I just not used to it. I'm not a politic type of guy. For me, it's either black and or white, black or gray, whatever. I'm not used to the politics part. Making certain people happy about this and hurt certain people happy about that, and I just want to go and do the job. That's it.
Right.
And see, again, I'm not used to that. When I was in school, again, realize I finished school in the 70s, man. so now in the 2020 when I retired, it's day and night. I can't even explain it. It's day and night. It's just day and night. So I can tell you, man. And then another thing I noticed from the schools, how we waste, and go back to money. They waste. I see that big waste when I was there. I'm talking waste that we could have prevented. In fact, I even had an idea where we could have saved at least 200 grand a year. They did not want to implement my plan. I'm saying at all. And it was a simple plan, a very simple plan. I'm serious.
Wow.
I'm serious. So that was, and again, when I come from, we had to save every penny we could get, man.
Well, let me ask you this now. Let me ask you.
Sir.
Give me an example on one of your one of your ideas that would have been beneficial for the district.
Hold on. Sorry about that. I had an inventory project basically for the custodians to do a weekly count of what they're using.
Right.
And because before the leaders told them to order your budget. For example, let's say a school might have had a $2,500 budget per month.
Right.
But I told the guys, if you don't need it, why are we ordering $2,500 when you don't need it?
Right. When you don't need it.
Yes. So we started doing the count, and I think the first 6 months we saved $100,000.
Wow.
Now, when I left, that would throw it out the door. And the reason I know it was throw it out the door because when I was there, we took that savings and ordered new equipment. And they told me since I left, it's been about a year and a half now. They have not got any new equipment.
So what it sounds like is that they must just like to waste taxpayers' money, and that money could be used for school that really need the help, whether in getting better equipment for the school like computers and desks
unfortunately, that's I mean to cut you off, but that's a different budget, as they would say.
Right.
But our budget, we didn't utilize our budget we didn't maximize our budget like that there. But unfortunately, the leaders over there, and I've been knowing it for a long time, they never were accountable like that. They just weren't accountable, and so they're not going to change now.
Wow. Come on, Max. Come on, Max. Expound on that about the school system. I mean, because I know you went to Spring and you seen how the difference from where you come from, and you noticed how things because we chopped it up about that, and you was like, you were telling me some stuff. I was like, I didn't even know stuff for like, because that wasn't in my era,
Right.
you know. So kind of give me your opinion about. I mean, what do you see? The difference. Hell, even I was sitting out front since you've been out of school, because here U of H grad. So let me throw that out for you. So
Oops.
Well, first of all, I want to say, like as somebody who comes from like humble beginnings, at one point there was after the war and everything we lived through, there was a time when I lived in a house that had no floor, it was just like dirt, So, overseas it's different in a sense that there's like maybe one paved road in an entire city or a village, and like you have to walk down like
Wow.
there's nothing necessarily like clear here in the United States. So
and these kids got air conditioned buses, but go ahead.
and this is the thing though. Over there, like the public bus comes maybe once in a blue moon in a sense, and if you catch it, you're lucky. If you don't, you keep walking. So like as like a 7-year-old, I had to like walk 5 miles like in one direction to the school and 5 miles back each day. And there was no necessarily schools out, because it's too much rain or it's too much snow, all types of weather conditions. I went to school,
Right.
I was fortunate enough that if one time I catch a bus, coming, home, the questions was the person nice enough to stop for a child to get on the bus,
right.
and then they would drop me off, and I'd still probably walk like 2 or 3 miles, back home.
Wow.
So there was no school lunches. I didn't have there was no AC in the classroom. There was like a burned building right next to the classroom. What was I going to say? Like if you had to get something to eat, you would have to go to like the store that was like across the street, but you still had to pay for stuff, And that was just how it was overseas. Like when I lived in a city, I still walked to school. They don't have no public school buses, nothing like that. There's in a country, I don't think anybody even has an AC, period. There's like no. So coming here, it was like a big cultural difference in a sense that I've noticed. There's lots of good things. First of all, I want to say about the school system. You have school buses. You have these deals where like your child can, like if it's more than like a mile or 2 miles, the kid has to be picked up by a bus. Has to be dropped off at a certain point. All those good things. You have AC on the bus and all that stuff, and you have regularly everyday transportation, so your child doesn't have to go, out in the snow, in the rain, or whatever. And when there's a little bit of snow or ice, the school is closed, which is awesome. But then one thing that I do want to stress that I really wish all the school districts would invest in is the people. And I'm talking about the teachers, particularly the teachers and the way they teach, because there's oftentimes a lot of these people who want to become teachers, but that's only because they get like holidays off and stuff like that. It's not necessarily that they want to teach or they want to really bring value to the table to really teach these kids value, and it's what I've noticed. It's like there's so many kind of differences in what teachers can and cannot do. Teachers cannot discipline the kids. They cannot be the voice of reason in a sense, because now even if you yell at somebody, weirdly for acting like a total jerk, you're still going to get in trouble or something like that,
Yeah, because I know when I was going, they call it corporal punishment, and you had the coaches walk around with paddles with holes in it. We talking about wood paddle, and they would tap your butt like 3-4 times, and they send you on your way. And it's not like I can run home and tell mama or daddy, and mom and daddy gonna say, what did you do? It's not like these parents now. They're gonna like, well, I'm going up to that school, because it's like it's easy for the parents now, they have what they call it, the youngsters call it a quick come up. They can easily sue the school. They can get a couple of, few thousands of dollars, or, depends on how severe the child is traumatized, but, I just, like you say, I agree with you. The teacher's not really paid enough. They not. And at the same time, I just think, again, most of them don't want to teach, because of the behavior of the kids, which I think that part should start at home. Now, hold your thought for a minute, Max. Come on, I got to bring Scratch Daddy, because I know down in Louisiana, it's a different ball game.
I mean, it's man, the school system should be a topic all to itself.
That is true. That is true.
I can't. One deep question I always pondered: why would the corporation called America put another corporation in charge of not what we learn, but what we know? Wow. You understand what I mean by that? You know what I'm saying? We got a corporation providing us with knowledge. Why did America give that corporation called the public education system to provide us with information that they want us to know? And when Mr. Williams was talking about the budget, I wanted to touch on that right quick. Mm-hmm. Just like in politics, with any budget, we want to give you money. That way, we're going to give you money that you can use whatever on. But the object of that is to give you the same amount or more the following year. Now, why is that the case? Especially if the funds are not being used in a positive situation. Because like y'all said earlier, one of the biggest problems in the school system, the teachers are competing with cell phones for the students' attention.
Wow.
You see?
That is true. I definitely know that's true.
Technology is one of the biggest attention distractors in public and private schools.
That is true.
So,
yeah.
Then you got to look at also America when it was young. And I'm going to go back as far as maybe like you could go back to the 1900s, really. But even after that, you could say like maybe the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. Okay. They were trying to create individuals to excel so America can excel. That's not a priority anymore. America was trying to become a superpower. So we need the school system to educate people so we can achieve that plateau. We're already there now. You know what I'm saying? So the information that we're receiving is dumbed down for what reason? That's what I need to find out. Why aren't we getting the same amount education-wise as we did back in those times? You look at a private school, they may have 15 students. A public students burdened down with 30 to 45 students. You got public schools, just throwing kids in these what they call them
alternative school?
Alternative school, but the other educational thing where I don't want to use the incorrect word.
Like magnet programs or
no, when they the slower kids. What's the program called?
Remedial classes.
Remedial, those classes where they actually get more funding for those students that are in that situation.
Like special needs,
special needs students and stuff like that.
Okay.
They get more money for those kids.
Yes, you're right. Mm-hmm.
We need more money.
But hold your thought on that. Hold, because I gotta chime in on that one. Because and reason I'm stepping in like that, because I mean, do the special needs kids really learn something?
In my opinion,
one who like verbally can't talk, who physically can't walk. So you using budget that this kid ain't gonna be able to be no politician. This kid ain't gonna run no corporation. You know this already. So I mean, for me, it's like I'm not saying it's wasted.
We're not talking about students that are crippled or handicapped now. We're talking about ones that are intellectually challenged. That's the special needs kids I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, finish saying what you about to say.
So I'm even with that, those who maybe just what they call a HDD, and maybe they have some concentration issues and they need to be more focused, and you give them a little bit more money to try to get them where they need to be at. I'm still going to go back home because this is home life, because guess who has to be involved? The parents need to be involved. Well, the parents can't be involved because they got to work 2 or 3 jobs. Well, who making it like that? Is America making it that way, where the parents got to work 2 or 3 jobs? Oh, because they want to live in a certain community. So you have to have a certain amount of income. Nobody don't want to stay where there's one grocery store on the corner, one gas station. No, you got to drive all the way downtown and go see a doctor. Nobody don't want that. So guess what they do? You have the parents work so all these jobs, so they don't have time for their kids to even assist their kids. So now you got to put all this burden on one teacher or maybe 2 teachers, but you don't pay them enough to teach your child where they need to learn and to get to where they need to be in America. Let's just say even in the work system. Because look, the truth it may be, I can have a college degree and still be struggling to get a job. Max, do I need to look, I love Max to death, because there's nowhere in the world my man should be out, been great 2 years out, and there's no way. I'm sorry. That's just how I look at it. When you based on he worked so hard to get his degree, and then it's like doors is being shut. Like, no. Then like, hey, y'all got to pay these student loans back. Hey, man, you done spent all this money to get this degree, but y'all not coming to being creative enough to make sure that these kids are getting the jobs that they need. It don't make sense to me. So come on, Melvin. Hold your thought on that, Max. I know where you go, but come on, Melvin, expound on that.
Well, going back to teachers' pay, I think they started at Fort Bend at what, 50-something thousand.
I think it's 54. I think they went it up to, I know it's between 50 and 55 or something like that.
Okay. Well, I worked in the maintenance and operation department.
Correct.
I was making twice as much as that, man.
Right.
Go figure that one out.
Right.
Go figure that out.
And look, I'm gonna go ahead and step out of it, because if I say this, oh well, you know what? Hell, even as a worker in the transportation department, I play my time right. I can make up to 55, 57, 60, depends on how I work it.
Well,
so I mean, it's like whoever's in charge, it's like they don't sit down and say, hey man, we got to figure this stuff out with the budget, because if the aim is education for all these kids, that means y'all have to come up with a better system to help these teachers to be more effective in their teaching skill. Because hey man, I didn't sat in the class just past my, and the teacher said, okay, I need y'all to read chapter 1, 2, and 3, and we'll talk about it the next 2 days. Well, what are you doing? You're not teaching nothing.
Yeah, I tell you what, the education system better be careful, man, because with so many other type of jobs out there, they better be careful. They better be careful, because there's other types of work out there that people can basically be their own boss. And I know about that one.
Yeah, yes, sir. And we're gonna talk about that later. Come on, Max. We're gonna come on, Max. Come on, finish what you.
Well, I first of all, I just wanted to say, Scratch Daddy, made an excellent point when he said, why is the system the way it is? And just recently, maybe a month ago or so, I saw a really good video. And the thing is, the greatest fund of the public education in the United States comes from the Rothschild Fund. And what did Rothschild say famously?
Wow.
He said, I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers.
There you go right there. And look who said it.
How many years ago was that?
Yeah, that was Rothschild, so I think that's like one of the biggest issues. However, I think the other big issue that we are facing, also is all these great corporations, these huge corporations, having also like almost like a stake, or like hold in a politics, in a sense, holding a stakes in a politics. And of course, politicians, unfortunately, tend to meddle and are in charge of like how all this stuff is being spent and funded, you know. So unfortunately, you know, I think that's one of the things that we should be really careful is with the corporate America, in a sense, you know. They, you know, corporation's a corporation, a business is business. They just think about business. They think what's best for the business, how much more money can I make, and they'll create any trend, any facade, and anything like to get your attention, get you money out of it, you know. And if you look in the finances and you know, just corporate world in general, they have formulas of lifetime. I forgot the full name of it, but it's like they can calculate lifetime value of a customer. They can calculate how much money you will spend at their store within a certain period of time, you know.
Wow.
So
come on, Scratch Daddy. Come on. Talk to me, Doc. I'm sorry.
Having some technical difficulty.
But okay, you okay. Let me say this before you while you getting your stuff together. You know, I met this guy, good teacher, from one alternative school. I'm not gonna say the name of the school, but I would say his name is Griffin, Mr. Griffin. Real good guy, you know, he genuine, like he's want to make sure that the kids succeed, but I mean, it's like he has his work cut out for him. When you don't have, I know I'm sounding like I'm picking on the parents, and I think I am. When you don't have parents involved in helping the teacher, because that's all I remember growing up. It was always parent teachers. That's all I did, parent teacher. Principal, assistant principal, they rarely got into the mix of that. It was always principal, teacher and parent, because parents was like making sure that kids do their homework. We be to school on time, you know, no excuses, none of that stuff. And I'm meeting Mr. Griffin. I think he one of those type of teachers who genuinely care for the student. But does he got some backing from home? Maybe a few. I don't know. You know, but it's a challenge. It's a hell of a challenge. You know, come on, Scratch Daddy. I think you hear me? Oh,
We lost him.
We lost him. That's okay. That's okay. But we're gonna keep it rolling. Because I know he really want to be on in this one. But we're gonna talk about man. Look, I look at we at the we're at the 37-minute mark, and of course this is a good conversation, but we got to go ahead and kind of close out with the infamous slap. Now, come on, brother William. You look, man. Before you come in, I got to say this here. I don't think he couldn't get away with it. I don't care, friend or no friend, knowing you or not knowing you. We may have to go ahead and shut down the Oscars that night. We may have.
Yeah, I got it back now.
All right, you back in. Hey man, we kind of, I told we was at the 37-minute mark, but we on the slap now. I say, man, I think I couldn't go for the slap, because if it was somebody come up and slapping me as a man, no, we gonna have to go ahead and shut the Oscars down. I'm calling goons and all that to make sure that, you know. Come on, Melvin. Come on and talk about it. What do you think? Well, give me your opinion, your honest opinion about it. What would you done? I ain't talking about what Will should have done and what Chris should have done. I want to know, what would you have done? Matter of fact, if anybody, and especially in that setting, would have just walked up and slapped the hell out of you,
the show would have been over with. The show would have been. I just, you know.
Well, I agree.
You know what though? But you know what though? I don't understand. I just can't believe that they don't have security that keep people from just walking up there like
right.
That. I just can't.
That's what everybody was saying.
That blows my mind.
That's my
blows my mind, man. Yeah, I just cannot believe that.
So he's just gonna let the man walk up there.
Yes.
I'm everybody that works security that night is supposed to get fired.
You know what? I'm gonna be a little devil advocate on this. I think because they probably wanted to see two black men go at it. That's why they like all this. Let's forget the security. I'm like, but that's just embarrassing. That's just totally embarrassing.
I can't even say.
I'm not. No,
you can't even say two black men. It's just you got to realize it's entertainment. Period. So
that is true.
I truly believe. I don't believe that it was a real situation because of the pot. Look at Chris Rock's posture. He got his back foot planted and his face extended forward as if he's anticipating a slap. You know what I'm saying? Then, you got to look at Will Smith after he hit him. He does, that's the Oscars. They got cameras everywhere. Why the only view they're showing is the part where he's walking up? Show me that slap from a different angle so I can see if he actually hit him. Because I know y'all got different angles.
Right. Now, I'm gonna bring in Max on there. You hold your thought for a minute because I'm finna bring up something. Come on, Max.
Well, I guess my thing about it is, maybe like, I'm just trying to figure out like if somebody was gonna hit me, I'd at least want to get paid for it, right? I mean, like if it's a movie role, okay, but I'm not just gonna. I don't care if you're on the stage or not, man. Like you're not just gonna walk up and hit me, and I'll just be okay with it and not do nothing, So that's kind of like my thing on it. So, but in a sense, posturing and everything, maybe Chris Rock thought like he was gonna like maybe tell him something. So I don't know. It's just a speculation. Just a
you know what? It just for me is just I get the Hollywood stuff.
It looked too timely.
Right. I get the Hollywood stuff and I get the first the laughter he did, and then he looked over at his wife. She rolled her eyes. Then he got up and walked. But then he came back. Then he started shouting. So I get what you're saying, Scratch. I just for me, he probably did got paid. I don't know about that, but my thing is, I just don't. I know. Matter of fact, I know you, Scratch. I don't think you would even allow that. I mean, like really, somebody just slapping you, and watch this, and he turning his back and walk back. Now, you wasn't going to allow him to even turn back. And he got your back turned to you? No. We gonna have to. There's got to be some furniture moving going on in there.
And one of our parents spank our behind. What's the first thing we do after that? We touch that area where we rub. If you get hit on the booty by your mama from, she whipping you with a belt. After she finished beating you on your tail, you gonna grab your behind because it hurts.
Thank you.
You mean to tell me this man got slapped that hard? He don't even touch his face. Period.
Very timely. Very timely.
But guess what happened? Every show he did was sold out. Matter of fact, he coming to Sugarland and it's already sold out.
He's talking to law firm.
Chris Rock?
Yeah, Chris Rock. He coming to Sugarland right there, Smart Financial. And I think
it's a publicity stunt. I really do.
But like I said, it's sold out. I don't know. I guess he said, "Man, I need to up my sales. You need to come up and slap me. I'm gonna say something about your wife, but."
Too, the whole prior to the Oscars, all they talked about was how the Oscars was losing viewers, and
that's what I heard. Right.
Yeah. So I mean, we need to get something to spice it up to get people back interested in coming to the Oscars or viewing the Oscars. And I mean, that was perfect because it got everybody talking.
Well, that is true. That is true. I guess everybody said, "Well, I'm waiting on next year. I'm gonna see how that gonna play out." Who we gonna get to do the Oscars next? So I don't know, man. But
people talking about the look that Jada gave him. Jada didn't give him a look because in fact they don't even show that part. When Chris Rock made the joke, Will is actually laughing also. Mm-hmm. Now Jada did this little thing, but she didn't look at Will Smith as if you're gonna take that. She didn't give him a look like that. She just rolled her eyes and looked up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all the stuff about Jada gave him no, she didn't give him a look. Where do you see that at in the video where she gave him a look signifying she was uncomfortable with Chris Rock said you need to go handle your business.
Right.
Okay. So Will Smith was laughing just as hard.
So but okay, Scrap, but let me ask, was he laughing when she said, well, I slept with August in the house here?
Well, see, that's a whole other ball game.
Drama,
Everybody,
drama,
you know,
drama.
everybody talking about that too. Chris Rock got August Alsina's
Let
butt
me
whooping.
stop, man. Y'all playing around. Let me stop.
You know, that was some years of frustration that, you know, Will Big wanted to hit somebody. It just happened. Chris Rock said the right thing for him to trigger. You know?
Oh my God, y'all terrible. All right, guys. Yeah.
No,
Hey, man.
But look, before you go
Okay.
with that, she dumped August Alsina, right? You know, she dumped him.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
And
people think, you know,
what she
people think
had
because
to.
he was a young, yeah.
She had to. Come on, man. I mean, but I get it. Like I said, I get it. But guys, man, it's been good chopping it up with you guys. I'm glad I got one in because man, people have been bugging me about it. So, hey, man, I'm glad everybody joined Opinionated Show. If you are not a subscriber, we ask you to hit the subscribe button. And hope everybody enjoy yourself. Come on and say something to the people, Max, before you chime out.
Thank you all for joining for this very opinionated show. Thank you, everybody who was involved. Look forward to working with you guys on some more shows.
Melvin, it's good to see you. Say something.
Man, I appreciate you inviting me. This was something, actually, I needed this myself. I really needed this here. So, again, I appreciate the invite. Real quick, Max, where you from? What country?
We can talk about it maybe like off camera.
Gotcha. No problem.
And Scratch Daddy, come on, Doc.
Well, you know, when I had the mic difficulty, I definitely want to touch upon the stuff about them high-paid babysitters called teachers, but maybe that'll be for another show. And I also want to touch upon something we talked about. That's what they is, high-paid babysitters. We ain't learning nothing, you know. But
we're gonna have to hit that up, man.
You remember we talked about something a while back you remember we talked about something a while back we never got a chance to present on the show, and that's inflation as a means of controlling the population. Remember we talked about that?
Yes, sir. We're gonna talk about that on the next one. And please, everybody, when I send that message out, please try to be attentive. So, man, because man, look, we got to get back into the groove. Like I said, man, people have been nudging me, and I just wanted to get one in today. I just had to. Yeah. So, man, hey, man, I'm keeping everybody in prayers. Please keep me uplifted in prayer because I'm in pain now. I need to go take these pills. No. But everybody, man, it's good to see y'all guys. I'm about to end the show. I'm ended it right now.
All right.